Hey everybody, can everybody hear me? Excellent, good deal. All right. Oops. All right, so we'll get going here in a second. We got Archie and Bill. We've got Lily. Hey Lily, how's it going?
It's good.
Are you ready?
I think so.
I think you're ready. I think it's going to be fun. Should go well. Let's see, we got Charles over there. Hey Charles, why don't we do a quick camera audio check since you're going to be playing today. Maybe. Hey, Brandon.
Hey.
Okay, so good. All right, we got pretty much everybody that I was planning on for today. So hopefully everybody's doing pretty well. It's been a couple weeks. Took a week off. Always nice to have a week off. Down here in Louisiana, we were dealing with a little bit of a storm that ended up not really doing a whole lot for us. As far as I know, everybody's good. That storm is up in northern Wisconsin right now, and I've got a buddy who's kind of not super happy with us because he's gotten about 6 inches of rain in the last couple of days up there from the same storm. So he got a lot more than we did. Not my fault though. So today we are going to just kind of do some playing just to kind of round out some of what we've been doing before already. So we're going to do some performances. I'm actually going to play today. I'm going to play a little bit of Alto Trombone for you, get some comments from you. And then we've got Lily who's going to play, and then Charles will play. So just kind of rounding out all that stuff. So just a quick reminder, kind of the way we do all of this is when I play, I'll be expecting some comments and some feedback from everybody. It's fine. I know I'm your teacher, but you can say things that you don't like. That's totally fine, especially if you have a reason for it. I also take and accept compliments. So just like all of us, I love to hear some compliments about how great I sound. But seriously, I'm doing this because I like to get feedback from everybody. So feel free to give me some feedback. It will not be scoffed at, I promise. Just a quick reminder, when we kind of do this, we like to do the bookending thing. So if you want to give a comment, I think it's a really good idea to have one good thing that you can tell the performer, something that you liked, something that you appreciated about what they did. Provide your feedback in the most kind of positive manner you possibly can, especially if it's feedback about their playing, some ideas about ways that the student or the player can work on what you maybe heard that you didn't think was quite what you thought it should be. So kind of this is a teaching moment, practicing being teachers and listening to things and coming up with ideas on how to fix things. And then it's always good to close with something that you did like or that you thought went well. So just a quick reminder on all of that. All right, I think we've pretty much got everybody I was planning on. I know I've got Adam watching from afar. So let's go ahead and get going here. I'll go ahead and play first. So what I'm going to play today is just a little, the part of the first movement from the Vagan style Alto Trombone Concerto. And this Vagan style lived pretty deeply in the classical era. And it's actually got some neo kind of Baroque aspects to it that are pretty interesting. And so I think maybe that should be, I don't know, fairly different to listen to, something different than we've actually listened to most of the time in studio class here. So I thought I'd play this for you. This first movement is an Adagio movement, and there's a number of like trills and wordings. And so what I've tried to do is I've tried to kind of do some research on what those should sound like, historically speaking, what they should be like, and try to reproduce those. So, well, we'll give it a shot here and see how it goes. Let me know if you can't hear me. One thing here. All right. All right, so that was my version of the Vagan style alto trombone concerto. So, who wants to give me some comments? Archie,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Gotcha.
So I really liked how you gave shape to every phrase. I could tell where the top of each idea was and how you went down with each idea. And then I think I know that alto trombone is really, really hard to tune. I think that there were some notes in third position that were a little out of something, just a few notes I caught that were out of tune, but
Yeah.
not hit pretty good.
Pretty regularly my Fs, it seems like. Yeah. I think that's a good catch. So full disclosure, this is the first week I've played this alto. It's a new instrument. But yeah, I think you're right. I think I'm really losing it on my seventh and eighth partials on the new instrument. So yeah.
I'll give you a little more because alto trombone's really, really hard to tune.
Well, yeah. Well, thanks. Cool. Thanks. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Any other comments? Brandon, do you got any comments? I'll call you out. You've been working a lot on alto lately.
Sure, yeah. The trills sounded a bit not necessarily wrong in certain places, but of course it's just a different style of trill than I'm probably used to hearing. But I feel that you could work on that a little bit more. I guess because I'm more used to hearing like lip trills over like a slide trill type deal. But other than that, I mean, everything sounds fine to me.
Well, this is a question for you on that. So like so you got my old alto trombone. It has a trill valve, and so I've always used a trill valve. Now on some of these Mortons, they're half step Mortons or they're whole step Mortons, and I'm struggling like crazy to get them in tune without the valve. But you played without a valve before you had your current instrument. So any suggestions? Because like usually what's happening, like especially for the whole step, like it's that one in the third line that really sucked that I list. I get too high. I have a tendency to the lip trill flips too high, so then I end up with a really sharp sounding Morton. Any ideas?
Probably just more practice at it, really. I mean, like my previous teacher, he would like exclusively do lip trills for like everything, and so of course whenever you only do lip trills, your lip trills can be extremely strong. So I guess it's just more practice and experimenting with, especially with a brand new horn that you've just been on for a week.
Well, I'll keep working on it. Hopefully I'll be able to show you later this fall something better. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Anybody else have any comments? Anything that they want? Hey, Bill.
Hey, Benjamin. I thought it was really interesting. I don't think I've ever. I think maybe at one of the performances over at UL, I think y'all had some older trombones, like from the 1700 style horns or whatever. And I've never really seen an alto trombone before. I had a couple questions. One was, does it use the same size of a mouthpiece as, like, say, a conventional tenor trombone would use?
Yeah, so you can use it's like a small bore mouthpiece, so it's pretty similar, but like this mouthpiece is specifically a shallower cup, and
that's way shallow.
It's like tiny. But it depends on the player, and it depends on what works best for you, and it also kind of depends on what sound you want to get. So like I use this really flat rim. It's kind of actually painful to play on, but I like it because it kind of gives me that Renaissance sound. So it's not this big, full kind of neo-romantic sound that we kind of imagine in our heads for orchestral Bruckner type trombone. It's just a little bit smaller sounding.
Well, it's way different than when you play on that your F attachment horn that I see you play at your office and all. Is that music in bass clef also, or is it does it map like a trombone in terms of the positions, or is it like a different clef or something?
Yeah, these are good questions. So it's in alto clef. So this is kind of what it looks like. So it's just another C clef. So it's a lot like tenor clef, but it's in alto clef. So you're reading things that are higher, lower on the staff. So it eliminates a lot of ledger line counting and stuff like that. And then the instrument itself is an E flat rather than B flat for tenor trombone. So like if I play an E flat major scale, it's the same slide positions as a B flat major scale. But of course, you're dealing with all sorts of other things because those are the same partials as a B flat major scale, but then you're also dealing with a shorter slide, which I have a tendency to whip the slide off. And then the other thing that happens is the way alto trombones are designed, and Brandon can speak to this as well. This is more of a Euro style, and so the European bell throat is actually a little bit longer. So that age-old concept of being able to line third position and fourth position up with the bell doesn't work at all with alto trombone. So you just
I was going to say, you probably got to do a lot of thinking when you're playing that horn. Almost kind of like the tennis racquetball controversy and how it kind of screws up your stroke a little bit when you're trying to go from one. You stick with one or the other, I guess. But
right.
So yeah, I had a question about the trill too. So it was obvious that you were playing the trill with the slide. I wasn't sure if it was exclusively a lip trill or whether you played it with the slide. But I thought it was really I mean it if you were going for kind of like a Renaissance sound, it clearly had that that Renaissance sound, way different than than when I hear you play on the F attachment horn. So it was cool.
Cool. Glad you liked it. Thanks. All right, cool. Well, that sounds good. Anybody else? Anybody else want to say anything? Lily, don't you want to say something? No. Okay. Well, I'll pick on Lily next then. So, hey, Lily, you're going to play next. So, Lily is just starting your sophomore year at Southside High School. Is that right? Oops, I think I lost you. Are you there? There you are.
Yes.
Okay. So Lily's just, you're starting your sophomore year at Southside, right? Okay. So why don't you go ahead and introduce the piece that you're going to play and then take it away.
Hi, I'm Lily, and I'll be playing Conconi number 1.
All right.
I can't hear you.
There you go. Good job. Good job. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and start off with some stuff here real quick, and then we'll get everybody else in on it. But really good job, Lily. Congratulations on performing in studio class for the first time. It's a little nerve-wracking, isn't it?
It is.
Like I found myself getting a little nervous before this too. And I'm like, I shouldn't be nervous for this. If they don't like it, whatever. Right? So good job. Congrats on doing that. I know that's a big deal. So I think there are a couple things that went really, really well that I just want to point out because not everybody knows what you've been doing or how you've improved. So Lily just started taking lessons from me at the beginning of May. So it hasn't been very long. And there's a couple things that I really liked. I really liked the big breaths that you were taking. That's something that we've talked a little bit about, but I thought you did a really great job of supporting what you wanted to do with range, with the air, rather than trying to support it with the chops only kind of exclusively. So I thought that worked out really well for you. And to keep that going, keep doing those lip slurs, keep working on that, the combined lip slur long tone buzzing exercise. I think that'll help a lot. So good job on that. I also wanted to compliment your slide arm. I thought it was really accurate today. That little bomba dee da dee da dee da dom thing went really, really well. You got that for sure. So that's good. Um, things to keep thinking about. I think, some of the dynamics that we talked about in this Conconi, I think they could come out even more. So, if you have the opportunity, I'll post this video to the website main page and to my YouTube, and maybe just take a listen to it when you're kind of ready to actually watch it. Right? We don't always want to watch it right when we're done, but the next couple days we'll watch it, or maybe in your next lesson we can watch it. But I think you'll notice that some of the dynamics didn't quite come through like we'd kind of planned. So that's just something to keep working on and feeling comfortable doing as you're playing. But again, really nice job. I'm really glad that you performed at studio class for the first time. I'll pass it off to everybody else, see if you can get some comments from some other people. Anybody else have a few comments, constructive feedback, or good things that went well for Lily's first time? Bill.
Well, I thought she had good sound on the lower end of the range. That I find that's where I often drop off when I'm having to go, like below the B flat and all. And I thought you had it well sustained in that range. So good job, especially playing with braces. I noticed. So my daughter just got hers off, and she was really excited when she could play her instrument again without the braces. And I had them too when I was in high school. So bravo for just even wanting to play a wind instrument with braces on.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
of hands, who had braces at some point or still has them? Yeah, right. Braces are the worst. Sorry, Lily. You'll be done soon, though. Any other comments for Lily? Yeah, Archie.
So I don't know the piece you're playing, but I really liked. I heard a lot of triads and outlines of them, and I really appreciated how accurate pitches were on those ideas. And then one kind of thing I think you could work on is maybe keeping your corners. I know Dr. Yates said support your sound with air, but I think you could probably keep your corners a little more firm, especially when you are going up in range on the horn.
Yeah, that's a really good comment. Yeah, well said too. Good. Thanks, Archie. Anybody else?
I don't have like any new comments really, but everything sounded fine to me. Your intonation was really good throughout the piece, and your breathing was good too. Like I've had issues breathing even up like recently, and I just finished 6 years in college, so keep at it. You're doing great.
Yeah, good, good. Yeah, yeah, you're definitely doing well, Lily. Congrats. It's a really big deal. And the thing about all of this for all of us is the trombone is it's a lifelong process, right? And wherever you want to get on it, wherever you want to be on it, we're always working towards that. I always like to tell my favorite story is like I finished however many years it was of school, I guess 10 years of schooling on the trombone, and basically spent 10 years of my life only playing the trombone. And I went to a conference to do a premiere of a concerto with a wind ensemble, and I fell on my face. It was like the worst playing experience of my life. So it totally happens. Once in a while, we have a performance that isn't good too, but I'd say congratulations. This was a really good performance and a really nice first outing. So feel good about it. All right. Congrats. Good job. All right. So we've got Charles Miller next. Charlie, there? I don't have your video. Charlie. We have an internet problem. There he is. All right.
We're good now.
Cool. All right. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Well, I'll introduce you. So this is Charlie, Charles. I can't remember. What do you prefer to go by either?
Any of them?
Okay. Well, this is Charlie, Charles. Um, and he just finished 6th grade at LJ Alamon here in town. And so he's heading into 7th grade next year. And he just got a new trombone, which is exciting too. So what are you going to play for us today, Charles?
I'm going to play Conconi number 12.
Ah, yes, another Conconi. Everybody can tell that I'm on a Conconi tirade this summer. Okay, so this is Conconi number 12. Take it away when you're ready. Yeah, good job. Nice. Yeah, it went well. Congrats. So this was your first time playing in a studio class as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So congrats on making the leap into playing on Zoom in public.
Yay.
Yeah, yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So congratulations on making that happen. Well, I've got a couple things for you, and then I'll pass it off to everybody else. I really want to beat everybody else at saying, that I really like all the guitars on the wall. I think that's super cool. Yeah. So that's really mostly what I want to say. No. So Charles also plays guitar and some bass, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's pretty fun. That's pretty cool. But the trombone's the best, we're pretty sure. So anyway, I wanted to just compliment you on a couple things like that. But the other thing I wanted to say was that I feel like all those lip slurs that we were talking about and doing like your natural slurs, that stuff is coming along like a lot. It's way better than it was. So congrats on making that happen. I think in terms of the smoothness of your legato, it's really come a long ways. In the center section of the Conconi, there's just a couple little things that are still getting you. And I think I didn't have the music in front of me, but I think there might be an accidental that's messing with you just a little bit. And so we're kind of moving in and out of that minor key, but it doesn't quite sound like it. So we should take a look at that in your next lesson, which is tomorrow. So remind me if I forget, but I'll write it down so that we can look at that. But that was just kind of like my only main intonation issue. Articulation sounding a lot better. And again, congratulations on playing your first studio class. It's a big step. So any comments for Charles? Yeah, Archie.
So I have a question for you. Were you played just a normal valveless trombone before this?
Yeah, I did.
So I would just say that if you just got this horn, really take the time to get used to the trigger. Work on tuning it. Just play things slow with it because it's a lot different. And the horn is going to sound different too. And you probably notice these things. But you sound really good. I appreciate your. You have a very controlled sound and really good tone for being in 6th grade. So, good job.
Thanks.
Thanks, Archie. Yeah, good comments. Anybody else have a comment for Charles? Yeah, Bill.
Yeah, I on along with what Archie said, he was saying it was a very controlled sound. I thought it seemed like a very confident performance too. I know as a 6th grader, I wouldn't have been anywhere close to that. So I thought it was an impressive performance. And again, it seemed very confident, and he looked comfortable playing there. And that's a great studio to be playing in as well. So nice work.
Now we can't continue, otherwise he's going to start to get cocky here. So.
Oh yeah, okay.
No, I'm kidding. Anybody else? Lily, you want to comment out there, or have we got Brandon?
Oh,
sorry. Go
ahead. Going off of what Archie said about the trigger, I feel your B's and trigger 2 could be pulled down just a little bit. They're a little high, and then your E's in position 2. I think they're maybe a little low. So maybe just look at your positions, like your 2nd and 5th. But other than that, I mean, you sound great. Like your sound's nice and round and dark. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, good comment, Brandon. Yeah, I think that's very true. Charles, we've been going back and forth. I've never taught slide positions like and like partial adjustments over Zoom before, and I never realized how much I was just taking people's slides and putting it where I thought it should go before doing all this. And so it's been really hard. And was it last week, Charles, that I was like, you're too low on everything, and now you're a little too high. So welcome to the game. That's the deal. It's confusing, isn't it?
It's a little different.
It is. Yeah. You're getting there, though. It's good. Those are good comments. Thanks, Brandon. Lily, do you have any comments for Charles?
I thought the articulation was really good. I think maybe the sound could have been a little bit fuller, I guess. So maybe use a little bit more air while playing, take a little bit bigger breaths. But I thought it was really good in general.
Yeah, good. It's good comments. Thanks. It's good. Rasa, do you want to chime in on anything? You've got anything you want to say to Charles? Just thought I'd check. Okay, cool. All right, so that's what I wanted to get through today. So for next week, I think I've got Bill lined up to play, and then I want at least one other volunteer. So I've had Archie play, Lily and Charles have both played. So Brandon, would you be interested in playing anything? Or Rasa, do you want to play Rasa? Okay, I'll take both of you. So next week I'll have 3. I'll have Bill, Brandon, and Rasa. And it's kind of the same deal. Pick a chunk of something or pick an etude and make sure it's just something that you feel comfortable on and ready to kind of perform for everybody. And then we'll give comments like this. I think, we're getting better at giving comments. it's kind of different when you're not used to being the one giving comments and doing the teaching. So kind of keep thinking about ways that you can give ideas to people as they're playing, and listening to them kind of critically, in that idea of being able to teach them or give them some useful feedback. That's the skill that we're developing here. So we'll do that next week, and then the week after that, the last studio class of June, I'm going to give a little presentation on a couple of different topics, and we'll talk some more about that next week, and I'll be asking for a little bit of input on that as well. So, and I guess that kind of leads me to just say, just real quick, if anybody would like to go over anything specific in one of these studio classes that we haven't really hit yet, feel free to let me know in a lesson, or drop me an email. Just let me know, and I'd be happy to try to work that in yet in July at some point. I've got some openings at this point. So I think that's all I needed to say for today. I really appreciate it. It's good to see everybody. And thanks again to Charles and Lily for playing. Congrats on your first studio class. And we'll see everybody either in their lesson yet this week, next week, or in studio class next Wednesday. Thanks, everybody. See you soon.